How's it going, guys? Cody back again, dropping out another video. Right, guys, this is a tragic story coming out of Swaleside prison down in Kent about a prisoner dying of a suspected spice overdose. Here's a story there. So first of all, my thoughts and my prayers are with the victim's family at this tragic time. No one should die in prison, and there's far too many people leaving prison in body bags, guys. Anyway, I'll put a link in the description below, so you guys can browse at your own leisure. Like I say, my thoughts, my prayers are really with the victim's family at this tragic time. God bless him, may rest in peace. So the headline reads, "Prisoner killed after suspected spice overdose at notorious jail dubbed Stabside because of knife crime." The inmate was found unconscious after apparently picking up the zombie drug at HMP Swaleside in Kent. A prisoner died in a suspected spice overdose after his jail governor penned an open letter to inmates pleading for an end to violence. The inmate was found unconscious after apparently picking up the zombie drug at the Category B jail, HMP Swaleside, dubbed Stabside, over its soaring levels of knifing, slashings and other attacks. The death came after jail boss Mark Ike raised eyebrows by telling Lags about the personal upset he felt every time an inmate or a member of staff was assaulted. Last night, the prison ombudsman had launched an investigation into Tuesday's death at the lockup in Lachey, Kent. An insider said he was buying spice that day on F-Wing, so it's almost certain it's that killed him. It's so easy to get hold of in here. It's been an epidemic for some time, and if it does prove to be spice that did him, then I can only say it's been coming. In a desperate plea for calm at the prison, Governor Mark Ike told inmates it sincerely disappoints him that I feel the need to write to you regarding the levels of violence within our community at Swaleside. The amount of prisoner on prisoner and prisoner on staff violence is extremely upsetting and simply cannot continue. You might be surprised to know that I feel personal upset at each person who is harmed through a violent act. Referring to an explosion of brutal crime in London and other cities, he added, I feel that the recent horrifying acts of violence within our communities are replicating themselves in our prison and our community. 2 weeks ago revealed how Luke Jones, 22, died after taking a spice overdose at another jail, HMP Berwyn in Wrexham in North Wales. The number of drug seizures at Swaleside jumped from 114 to 197 in the year ending March 2018. There were just 5 in 2008. Describing the mayhem in the nick, the insider added, stabbings, slashings, you name it, you see someone get shanked every day. Cons getting hot watered and even hot oil leaving them with horrific burns. There's a massive drug problem in Swaleside and drug gangs fight it out for control. Spice is the most demand, so there's a big struggle for who controls it. It's pretty much like it is on the streets. On Friday, Prisons Minister Rory Stewart promised to resign if he fails to turn around the country's 10 most violent and drug-infested jails within a year. He made the vow live on the BBC as he announced an extra 10 million to tackle problems with body scanners and sniffer dogs. A repair programme will also improve cells and perimeter security. The Ministry of Justice confirmed there's a death in custody at Swaleside and there's an investigation underway pending the results of a post-mortem. Now, gutted, absolutely devastated, honestly. It's happening far too much, guys. It really is. Like I say, it's not just Swaleside where like these attacks and violence take place, but this is a drug death, guys. Like I say, it'd be wrong to guess, you know what I mean, that it was down to spice. But the thing is, guys, what you need to remember, this story hasn't come out because the prison have told the media there was a death in custody. It's a prisoner that's got contact with a journalist, Scott Esketh from Liverpool, who's a really good journalist. He's contacted him and told him what's going on. And it needs to happen in prisons up and down the country, guys. I have informed the media about prisons, about a death in custody when I came out of prison, about the death of Darren Rawlinson, God bless him, may rest in peace. The prisons don't give a shit, guys. They want to sweep it under the rug, right? Sweep it under the rug. The Ministry of Justice, guys, right, are clueless. £10 million for the 10 most challenging prisons, right? Then as soon as they won't come up to scratch, by the way. He said he'll resign in 12 months if the violence and drugs haven't subsided. I'll tell you straight, 12 months you're getting a new justice secretary, not a new justice secretary, a new prisons minister, right? Because they're clueless, guys. They're absolutely clueless, right? They can bring in this, that and the other, then prisoners prison officers will cover it. Oh, it's coming in this way, bam. Prisoners will move to something else, guys. Look at it now, fucking drones are delivering drugs to prisons up and down the country, depending on what cat prison they're in. It happened at Strangeways here in Manchester. It was documented in the media, right? It's going on. It's coming in every which way. Corrupt screws are bringing it in, right? Do you know what I mean? Drugs are a big problem within prison, because when you've got contraband, you've got debt. Where you've got debt, you've got fear, intimidation, bullying and violence. This guy was I don't know what wing I don't know what the F wing at Swaleside houses. I don't know if it's detox, I don't know if it's recovery, you know what I mean, drug-free wing, I don't know. But the fact is, this guy's died of a drug overdose in prison. And it's happening far, far too much, guys. It really, really is. And it hurts me personally. Like I say, leaving prison in a body bag, guys. There's no more of a depressing place in the world to leave prison than a body bag, let me tell you. Now, like I say, the prisoners in that prison sound like they're running the prison. Do you know what I mean? The fact is, we need to decrease the prison numbers, and we need to get more screws. The only reason I want more screws is that so it's more safe for prisoners. And the fact is that obviously if something went on, they could deal with the situation. But right now, guys, they're very reliant upon their panic buttons, yeah? And like I say, it goes on. But this guy's left prison in a body bag. Unfortunately, guys, prison body bags are as much part of prison life as the spice, the understaffing, the harsh regimes, the decrepit, dilapidated, squalid prisons that our prisoners are living in. Let me tell you, right, living in inhumane conditions, right, with harsh regimes, with no productive regime, right, and how the prison system doesn't aid rehabilitation, guys. If anything, it makes the problem worse. It really, really does. And like I say, guys, we're going to keep seeing these deaths in custody, right? Do not touch spice in prison. But like I say, people get spiked, people peer pressured into it, people are told to take it or they'll get a dig, bullied into it, peer pressured, take it off their own back to escape the reality of the surroundings and the realization of prison. Prisoners that are mentally ill and should be on antipsychotic medication or mental health medication have not been diagnosed, so they're not getting that help and treatment because mental health services in prison are inadequate. So they start taking drugs. They end up on spice. Spice is an horrific drug, and I've seen too many people, guys, in catatonic states, throwing up on themselves, fucking can't even walk, can't operate, monged out. Do you know what I mean? It's not a pretty sight. I don't like seeing it, especially if that prisoner has been bullied or peer pressured into it. Do you know what I mean? It's disgusting, it's vile, and it's costing lives up and down the prison system. Do you know what the weird thing was? When it was a legal high, right, people were probably dying off it in then, but as soon as they ban it, the demand goes up, and obviously the addictive nature goes up, and then they make new strains of it, and new strains and stronger strains. And if you are a person, I don't take drugs, but if you are a person that takes a drug, you might take a little bit and it'll knock you out. You're gone. The next time you take it, after a couple of times taking it, you won't be gone off that amount. So you've got to take more and more and more, and you're chasing that high, guys. And you've got to take more and more in your system, and you're at more and more risk of an overdose. Your tolerances in prison to drugs are significantly reduced. Why? Because you're still getting the drug, but you're not getting it as often as you would on the outside. Because obviously you might not be able to pay for it, or there might be a drought on the wing, right? But then when it gets in, you're on it, right? So what happens? Your tolerance goes down to the drug, so you're more susceptible and more likely to overdose on the drug. It could have been in a single cell, it could have been in a double cell, I have no idea, guys. But this spice epidemic within prisons is beyond crisis. It really, really is. And like I say, prisons are supposed to be drug-free, like smoke-free and drug-free. The fact is, guys, drugs are rife within prisons. They are absolutely everywhere. Right, guys, listen, on that note, I'm going to leave this video here, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll leave a link in the description below. My thoughts and prayers go out to this prisoner's family and friends at this tragic time. God bless him. May he rest in peace. It's Cody out.